Right now, the average monthly payment for a new vehicle is $735. Over 17% of buyers are paying more than $1,000 a month. People are signing 72-month contracts and taking on $50,000 of debt for vehicles that are mathematically engineered to self-destruct before they even finish paying them off. Pop the hood on a brand new, massive 4,000-pound SUV right now. You aren't going to find a bulletproof V6 or an unkillable V8. You're going to find a tiny 1.5-liter, three-cylinder engine that is literally smaller than the motor on some riding lawnmowers. Automakers will point to the EPA window sticker and call this innovation. But talk to any mechanic who actually wrenches on these cars, and they will tell you the terrifying truth. 90% of modern cars are engineered to be disposable. They're designed with two massive, catastrophic failure points that are calculated to blow up right after your 60,000-mile warranty expires. I'm going to expose the $40,000 scam happening on factory floors, show you how the lawyers rigged the warranty system against you, and give you the only 3 realistic modern vehicles you should actually buy with your own money. Let's get into it. The death of the modern car comes down to a single engineering change that almost every manufacturer adopted over the last 10 years: the turbocharged direct injection engine. On paper, they sound amazing. You get the power of the V6 with the gas mileage of a 4-cylinder. But here is the dirty secret they don't put in the brochure. Let's start with direct injection. In older reliable cars, fuel was sprayed into the engine through the intake port. Think of it like a constant shower. Every time fuel sprayed in, it washed the intake valves clean. Your engine stayed spotless for 200,000 miles. Direct injection changed that. Now, fuel is sprayed directly into the combustion chamber. Nothing washes the valves anymore. Because of this, carbon deposits slowly bake onto the back of the intake valves like black hardened cement. By the time your car hits 50,000 miles, the engine can barely breathe. It starts misfiring. It burns oil. You lose acceleration. And when you take it to the dealer, they tell you that you need a walnut blasting service to literally blast crushed walnut shells into the engine to clean the carbon out. The cost, $600 to $800. But wait, isn't that covered by the 60,000-mile powertrain warranty? Absolutely not. The manufacturer's legal team specifically categorized carbon buildup as a maintenance item. They knew this was going to happen in pre-production testing. They sold you the EPA fuel numbers, but they legally protected themselves from paying for the carbon buildup that those numbers cause. But carbon is only the first trap. The second one is much more expensive. Because these new engines are so tiny, they have absolutely no power on their own. To fix this, automakers strap a turbocharger to them and force them to work at maximum capacity just to get you up an on-ramp. Here's what happens when you daily drive a turbocharged engine. Turbos spin at over 100,000 RPMs and get incredibly hot. When you pull into your driveway and shut the car off, the oil sitting inside those ultra-hot turbo feed lines literally boils and cooks into solid carbon. This is called heat soak or oil coking. Over 5 to 7 years, those cooked oil deposits destroy the turbocharger bearings. The turbo fails, your car goes into limp mode, and the dealer hands you a repair bill for $2,500 to $3,000. And once again, the legal team steps in. Because turbo bearings degrade over time, they are often classified in the fine print of extended warranties as a wear and tear item. You bought an extended warranty thinking you were protected, only to find out the lawyers designed the coverage to exclude the exact part they knew was going to break. This isn't sloppy engineering. This is a highly calculated business plan to convert your transportation budget into a monthly subscription to their service department. But you don't have to play their game. There are still a few vehicles out there that completely bypass this factory scam. Modern cars that are actually built to last 200,000 miles. Let me show you the only 3 you should be buying. If you need a truck or a large SUV, you need to go back just a few years to the last era of honest American engineering. I'm talking about the naturally aspirated V8s before the government forced them to overcomplicate everything. Look for a Ford F-150 from 2011 to 2017 with the naturally aspirated 5.0-liter Coyote V8. Look for a Chevy Silverado or Tahoe with a 5.3-liter V8 built asterisk before asterisk 2019, when GM made their catastrophic dynamic fuel management system standard. These engines are the exact opposite of a modern micro-turbo. They are big, lazy, naturally aspirated blocks of iron and aluminum. They don't have turbochargers cooking the oil. They don't have to scream at 5,000 RPMs just to merge onto the highway. Are they going to win a fuel economy award? No. You're going to pay more at the gas pump. But paying an extra $40 a month in gas is a lot cheaper than handing a dealership $3,000 because your tiny turbocharger exploded. These are the last American engines built with bones designed to go 200,000 miles without a major intervention. But if you don't want a massive V8 and you just want a normal, reliable daily driver that isn't going to self-destruct, there is an entire Japanese brand that completely ignored the turbo trend. While Honda, Chevy, and Ford were busy cramming 1.5-liter turbos and terrible CVT transmissions into their compact cars and SUVs, Mazda quietly said, "No thanks. If you buy a Mazda CX-5, a Mazda 3, or a CX-50 with a base 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine, you are buying a glitch in the modern matrix. There is no turbocharger to fail. There is no fragile CVT transmission that relies on a steel belt that snaps at 80,000 miles. Mazda pairs that bulletproof 2.5-liter engine with a traditional old-school 6-speed geared automatic transmission. It is the exact recipe for a car that runs 250,000 miles. Yes, Mazda does use direct injection, so you might eventually need that carbon cleaning service around 80,000 miles. But because there's no turbocharger adding massive heat and stress to the engine bay, the rest of the powertrain is basically unkillable. You get the gorgeous premium interior of a modern car, with the mechanical simplicity of a vehicle built 15 years ago. But what if you could have it all? What if there was a modern car that gave you 40 miles per gallon, incredible reliability, and featured a secret piece of engineering that completely solved the direct injection carbon problem forever? This is the holy grail of the modern car market. If you are buying a vehicle right now, the smartest money you can possibly spend is on a Toyota RAV4 hybrid, a Camry hybrid, or a Highlander hybrid featuring the 2.5-liter naturally aspirated engine. Here is the brilliant engineering secret that Toyota uses, which nobody else wants to pay for. It's called the deforest injection system. Toyota engineers knew that direct injection caused carbon buildup. So instead of just accepting it and passing the repair bill onto you, they engineered a dual injection system. The Toyota 2.5-liter engine has both direct injection and port injection. When you need power, it uses direct injection. But when you are cruising or idling, it kicks on the port injectors. That port fuel spray literally washes the intake valves clean as you drive. Toyota completely cured the carbon buildup disease. Add in the fact that there is no turbocharger to fail, and the hybrid system takes massive strain off the gas engine in stop-and-go traffic, and you have a powertrain that is routinely hitting 300,000 miles in taxi and newer fleets around the world. The automakers are banking on you not knowing the difference between a good engine and a disposable one. They want you distracted by the ambient lighting, the panoramic sunroof, and the massive iPad glued to the dashboard. Don't fall for it. The badge on the grille is just marketing. The engineering underneath is what you are actually buying. Stick to the naturally aspirated V8s, the Mazda 2.5-liter, or the Toyota hybrid, and you will completely bypass the factory scam. But a bulletproof engine is only half the battle. You could buy a car with a perfect engine, only to find out the transmission is a literal ticking time bomb waiting to hand you a $6,000 repair bill. Millions of people are driving around right now in cars with transmissions that mechanics legally refuse to fix. I just broke down the 5 transmissions you must avoid at all costs, and exactly which cars are hiding them. Click the video on your screen right now before you accidentally buy a financial nightmare. I'll see you there.